losses to Vandy, losses to Rutgers. However, they've been in all 4 games.
Yeah, they really have. And they got their work cut out for them tonight, because this Miami offense can hit you from a lot of different ways. We've talked about the passing of Cam Ward, but they run the football at a pretty good clip as well. 3rd in the ACC with 200 rushing yards per game. They can win in a lot of different manners.
Kyle Lowe sends it away. No chance for Chris Johnson. And we get our first look at Cam Ward and this Miami offense. Ward, a transfer from Washington State. Mel Kiper has him as the number 4 quarterback prospect for the upcoming draft. Amongst the national leaders in passing touchdowns, passing yards. And last week, he became the first Hurricanes quarterback with 4 straight 300-yard games to begin a season.
I'll tell you something, if there are 3 guys better than Cam Ward, I'm not believing that. The tape doesn't lie. This guy's as cool, as calm, and as collected as there is in the entire country. Nothing seems to get under his skin.
He finds his running back. Damian Martinez can't hang on. As we take a look at tonight's impact players built by the Home Depot.
Yeah, Xavier Restrepo, the wide receiver, he is the go-to target for Cam Ward, and a guy that can make plays down the field. Moanoa, the right tackle, also that's going to be a heck of a matchup, and APR against big number 61 on the right side for Miami.
4 receivers bunched to the top of your screen, and they set up the screen. It's Martinez, an anvil on wheels coming over from Oregon State. It sets up 3rd down. Miami's offense, you've got a Heisman contender at quarterback, a stout offensive line, depth at running back, mismatch at tight end, and oh, by the way, 3, maybe 4 wide receivers that could be number 1s anywhere else.
Yeah, and they don't have to be, have to catch the ball vertically. They can catch it on crossing routes and still get themselves into the end zone. So this is a talented bunch, but a defense that's stingy in its own right for Virginia Tech.
The strength of Tech, the D-line, they bring 5. Ward in the pocket, can't get away. Football comes out. It looks like the Hokies have covered it up.
They're going to rule this a fumble. It is certainly going to be Virginia Tech's ball here early. I'm not sure Cam Ward was trying to throw it as he was going down or what.
Fumble recovered by Virginia Tech.
Excellent at work in the pocket. They just get there. And it looks like it was Kelvin Gilliam Jr. who was the first to arrive, and say it was a pass. An incomplete pass was the ruling on the field, so we'll see what happens here after they indeed take a look at this.
Yeah, originally it looked like they said fumble, and now it is an incomplete pass, which means it's going to be 4th down. We're going to get a closer look. Let's bring in our college football rules expert, Matt Austin.
The ruling of a fumble recovered by the defense is under further review.
All right, they're going to look at that last play. So the initial ruling was fumble, Virginia Tech recovery. Matt, when you watched the replay, what did you see?
Well, I don't have a great view of when his knee exactly hit the ground, but it looked like his knee was possibly down before he let the ball go. But again, the shot I have, the football players' helmets in the way, so it's hard to tell.
That left knee looked like it may have been down. Again, you need indisputable video evidence, and the ruling on the field was fumble, Virginia Tech recovery.
I think he's on top of a Virginia Tech player. And maybe Kevin Gilliam Jr., who he was on top of, who got there first, and then the ball comes out. So I think this is the right call. An incomplete pass. I mean, is that, Matt, a dispute in this of whether the arm was coming forward or?
Well, no, I think it's definitely a fumble because it's the hand. The hand has to start coming forward with firm control of the ball. And I think you can see as the hand came forward, the ball was already coming out.
Okay.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. 1st down, Virginia Tech.
Yeah, not enough to overturn the call, and you hear the verbiage stand. It's not confirmed, so you default to the call on the field. And Virginia Tech has the football in plus territory. And Andre, for a team that has struggled to start fast, this is a golden opportunity on the road.
Yeah, it really is. And you got ideal field position in which to start this drive for Virginia Tech. This is a possession they didn't have factored in. And so it's a bonus possession here in the first quarter. Now you got to put points on the board while you're on the road. You want to be if you're the road team, the first on the scoreboard.
A toss play. Bashal Tootin coming off 3 straight 100-yard games. And he is dumped out of bounds by Deani Hill, who plays that hybrid possession position.
He's a good one. Averaged over 8 yards a carry in their last game against Rutgers and has 17 career 100-yard games. So he is a guy that can get it done. He's a productive back that they'll leave on the field. 20-plus touches are what they want to get him in this one.
Kyron Drones finding his running back in the flat. And 2 plays, 2 touches, only a yard there. It's 3rd down, and there's a theme in the building today. A couple of Houston area quarterbacks on the field and 1 in the booth.
A guy that played at a pretty good program in the Houston area, Shadow Creek, who started his career at Baylor, made his way to Virginia Tech to Blacksburg, and all he's got to do is clean up some passing stuff. 48% in their last game against Rutgers. He cleans that up. Who knows where Virginia Tech would be right now. They're going to have to. He's going to certainly have to do that if he pass the ball better if they're going to win tonight.
Pressure coming. He gets away from Alston. Drones downfield, wide open. Benji Gosnell, and Virginia Tech capitalizes off the turnover.
Boy, he gave the Miami sideline a little bit of what we see Cam Ward give visiting sidelines every once in a while, or opposing teams. Just kind of stared him down with his hands on his hips a little bit, but does a nice job in the pocket, making guys miss, and then the eyes down the field, finding his big tight end wide open.
Drones and Cam Ward trained together in the offseason. They're related, cousins on their mother's side. And there is a very friendly rivalry between those two.
Is that where he got the hands on the hips kind of thing?
This season, Miami has not scored first. Hokies capitalize off the turnover. Line drive kick. Chris Johnson has world-class speed. Florida State champion in the 100 and 200 meter as a junior. For Virginia Tech, this is what they wanted. Brent Pry, their head coach, joked with us yesterday. We've been so bad at the beginning of games, we may change our call sheet and start calling our 4th quarter plays early in the game. Well, today, short field off a turnover, and then Kyron Drones, who struggled to make throws downfield against Rutgers, delivers.
Yeah, one thing I thought that Virginia Tech had to do was win time of possession. When you're getting turnovers and you're scoring off those turnovers, you're going to be pretty close in that category.
Damian Martinez coming off a 3-touchdown game against South Florida. And he is brought down by Kelly Lawson, leading tackler for the Hokies last year, who was a game-time decision coming into tonight.
You talked about it being the first time Miami's not scored first in a game this year. They've only trailed 5 minutes and 43 seconds all season long. So this is uncharted waters for the Hurricanes right now.
Time for Ward. APR chasing him from the backside. He gets away from Gilliam. And Ward, the ability to improvise, getting out of bounds close to the marker. Keontae Jenkins wearing that number 25 jersey today. That's the honor that goes to the player who wears Frank Beamer's old uniform.
What an honor that is. Heck of a football coach he was, and for a very, very long period of time, basically built the Virginia Tech program. I remember watching them on a lot of Thursday nights where they were doing their thing, the only show on at that point in time.
A different special teams player wears the number 25 each week. Special teams, a hallmark of Beamer's teams.
Timeout, Miami.
And a
First
timeout
timeout of the half.
by Miami here on 3rd down and 1.
30-second timeout. Correction.
We'll step aside, Mario Cristobal's team, to talk it over. Bruce Smith, one of only 2 players in Virginia Tech history with multiple 4-sack games. The other, their current starting edge rusher, Antoine Powell-Ryland, who had it against Old Dominion for the 2nd time in his career just a few weeks ago. 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery in the game against the Monarchs.
Not bad against playing against the run either. Give you a comparison here and see if you agree with me after this play.
It's 3rd down and 1. Orton, the motion man. Miami keeps it on the ground. It'll
be short.
Damian Martinez. This will depend on the spot.
Now, he reminds me a little bit of Khalil Mack from obviously the University of Buffalo, played with the Bears, Chargers. He is a solid pass rusher.
Both wear number 52.
Yeah. I mean, he can flat out get after you, both in terms of run defense and certainly getting after the quarterback, which is why he leads the nation with 6 sacks.
Martinez picks up enough for the 1st down. Arroyo, the tight end, in motion. Ward throws downfield for his big tight end, shovels and hangs on. Elijah Arroyo takes it inside the Tech 20.
They describe him as a Jimmy Graham type of player. That means he can run and he can catch it with a big frame. Kind of tips it to himself and reels it in. What a big play for the Hurricanes.
And Miami using a tempo. They hardly got any production from the tight end position last year.
And he's got him wide open right now. No one. He has made a big catch and there's nobody lined up over him in the slot.
Ward to the end zone. Caught by George. Touchdown, Miami. There is a flag.
And he gives it right back to the Virginia Tech sideline. Drone started it. Cam Ward trying to finish it. See what this flag is about, Anish.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding, defense, number 25 is the flag. Touchdown on the play. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, Miami.
Oh, what a throw by Cam Ward. And he's just going to find Jacoby George in the back of the end zone. I mean, one heck of a play going through his reads, and that ball is thrown, leading him away from coverage. Love it. Love it's in coverage, but the throw would not allow him to recover.
And the unsportsmanlike will be assessed on the kickoff. A swinging gate here.
Ran a little bit of that in high school as well. Swinging gate. It's been a long time since I've seen that one.
Andy Borregales for the PAT. Mario Cristobal told us this week when they watched Cam Ward on film, the first thing that jumped out was anytime Ward made a bad play, he responded with what Cristobal called a kick your you-know-what play.
Yeah, and he just doesn't make the same mistake twice. He's a guy that learns fast. He's played a tremendous amount of football, so nothing really gets to him. A mistake here and there, he's going to blow that off and come right back and give you the type of plays that you saw on that touchdown throw.
You know, gentlemen, when I spoke to him this week, there was that quiet confidence, and when you see him on the field, he has the eyes of someone that wants to make a play immediately after a mistake. There wasn't a lot of hooting and hollering, but when I talked to him, he also said this is his revenge tour for everyone who didn't believe in him early in the process. process, the wing T quarterback who couldn't pass. Like, this was on his mind the entire time. And part of the revenge also is to bring the U back. And they got a guy that can do it. Mario Cristobal says this guy could play linebacker. Well, he happens to have one of the best arms in college football, too.
He's got all the numbers. He's had accolades. Leading a major football program to a conference championship, eluding him. One of the reasons he spurned the NFL and came to Miami. Virginia Tech brings it out close to the 30-yard line.
I was at the national championship game this year and talked to Coach Daryl Dickey, who's on the staff with Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M. Went back, saw Cam Ward at a camp, and went back and told Jimbo, hey, I just seen a guy that can lead a program, major Power 5 program. Didn't offer it. And then after the Washington State stuff, I was like, what do you think then? He's like, oh yeah, the kid can play. No doubt about it. Cam Ward is a baller.
There's that slow mesh. Benji Gosnell, the tight end.
Nice move.
Had the Virginia Tech touchdown earlier, and it looks like he's got enough for a first down. This is a Virginia Tech offense that returns 10 starters. The rushing attack generally leads the way. It's Tootin, it's quarterback run with drones, and they really want to stay committed to the run today and wear down this vaunted Miami front.
Gosnell is a reliable target for this Virginia Tech offense. Drones going to him early and often.
Ollie Jennings back in there for Virginia Tech. Didn't play last week. That one is off the hands of Green and picked off by Miami. Mish Powell, the UW transfer.
You cannot tip the ball with a secondary full of athletes like Miami. They will eat you up in terms of reeling passes in once they're tipped, especially over the middle. Just full of athletes on the back end. And right now, Miami's set to make Virginia Tech pay for their first turnover of the ball game.
Aiden Green almost guided that ball into the hands of Mish Powell. And they talked about Mish Powell as somebody who brought energy and leadership to the defense the same way Cam Ward did to the offense.
All these guys out of the state of Washington, right? Transferring in here to Miami, and they are big-time factors in this year's football team.
Pressure coming. Ward evading, throws back across the middle, incomplete. Wanted Mark Fletcher is running back, 2nd and 10.
Well, he will wait to the last possible second to get a ball out, to give his receivers a chance to work themselves open. He is not afraid. Mentioned the fact he's played a lot of football, so he just knows situations. He knows the pace of the game, and he tries to slow it down, almost like Luka Doncic with the Dallas Mavericks, playing at a slower pace than everybody else, but yet effective.
When the drum beat gets louder, the heartbeat gets slower. This is Sam Brown. He was Houston's top receiver last year, and it sets up a 3rd and short in what is 4-down territory.
You look at Miami's success on 4th downs. They've only had to go for it 3 times, 33%. And that's just kind of jumping ahead, but they are outstanding on offense on 3rd down at 64.3%. That's 13th in the ACC.
That's number 1 in the nation.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
64%.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Nobody's doing it at that clip.
They've been beating their opponents through 4 games. Again, the schedule, you can say what it is, but by an average of 52 to 10. Play action set up perfectly. Arroyo glides in. Touchdown Miami. Cam Ward sold it.
That looked like an old Peyton Manning play fake, where everybody takes the bait, baby. Arroyo comes wide open right in the middle. And I mean, it was sold by Cam Ward. And the release by Arroyo, that is a 7-on-7 session in practice. It looks so easy.
They line up with 3 tight ends, and Arroyo leaks out expecting run. And just like that, two quick ones. Miss Terry being the better half of Nick Saban. Fake toss, drones up the gut, gashes the defense for close to 10.
It's going to be right at the first down marker. I think they're going to move it and give Kyron Drones the first down. Now just continue to play on schedule. They cannot afford negative yardage plays that take Virginia Tech behind the down and distance mark.
The ball was on the 25. Doesn't it have to be on the 35 for that to be a first down? And now we get a flag.
We got a quick start by Ahmad Moten, who's in the ball game. And now he's not in the ball game.
Offside, number 99 defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, he was in for Barrow, who I really like as a player. And when that offsides penalty occurred, coaches got Moten out of the game. Yeah, that's clearly on him. And Barrow Jr. is right back in there, number 10. Transfer out of Michigan State. I love this kid on film. He is strong at the point of attack. You feel him after you're across the line of scrimmage from him.
Tugboat Tootin. Kangaroos across the 40. Second and about 2.
Nice job by Ricard Richard coming up from his secondary spot. Transfer from Vanderbilt. We talked a lot about Vanderbilt tonight after taking down Virginia Tech in that opener 34-27. Commodores off to a good start.
Clark Lee's got that program playing much better this year. Almost had the upset against Vandy. Tootin again. And he appears to have enough to move the chains.
It's exactly what this Virginia Tech offense has to do. Stay on schedule is what they told us. Establish the run, which means you're establishing the line of scrimmage, wear them down up front, and then win time of possession.
Well, they didn't give him the first, so third down and short. Miami crowding the box. Drones, the quarterback sneak, and that will be enough.
And you know I like that, right? Out of the shotgun,
not being in
under
the
center, where you can get some push and you're not allowing for penetration. Love that play call.
Terrific article on ESPN.com this morning by Andrea Adelson on the relationship between Drones and Cam Ward. Those two have become very close, and Drones has said, I had this game circled on my calendar for some time. Here comes the blitz. Powell forces Drones to flush it. Safety blitz.
And I thought Felton was going to work his way back. He worked to the middle of the field away from Drones, so there's no way you're going to throw it up over the middle, scrambling to your right. That's just asking for trouble. And he does the smart thing to come back on second down. Throw it away, come back on second down. Where's the matchup? Where's Jalen Lane, number 83, for Kyron Drones?
He is lined up in the slot top of your screen. It is a run. And there is Tootin close to midfield. Kark?
You guys were talking about Brent Pry earlier and Vanderbilt. That was week 1. And I talked to him on the field before the game. He said it was so hot and humid down in Nashville week 1. Prepared his team for today because the real feel was around 100 degrees here in Miami. For a guy from the Northeast like me, brutal. I know Andre Ware living in Houston, no big deal. But for me, yeah, it's real.
It feels great. This is actually a tick down from the humidity that we've faced in Houston right now.
Drones wants Lane, incomplete. You saw Jadis Richard trailing him pre-snap and through the play, but there is a flag and maybe some contact here.
Pass interference, defense, number 25. That penalty result in automatic first down.
It's Richard working against Jalen Lane, and it's going to give Virginia Tech an automatic first down. And keep this drive going, which is exactly what Virginia Tech needs. You see there, 25 working against 83. Absolutely pass interference. No need to argue on that one, Anish.
Hokies back into Canes territory. Malachi Thomas in at running back. Aiden Green in motion. Green catches the screen. Dangerous pass. Stiff arm down the sideline. Aiden Green slips all the way across the 30 of Miami. And let's see where they mark it if he went out of bounds.
What a play. Nice job after the catch by Green up the sideline. A little stiff arm on Hill.
Well, looks like they say he stepped out of bounds before the first down marker. So second down and 1.
Be surprised if Mr. Drones doesn't keep this one.
To the air, dropped by Felton. Against Rutgers last week, Drones missed Felton on a couple of deep balls. That's one Felton has had to have.
And those are the accuracy problems that Kyrie Drones has. That one thrown well behind DeQuan Felton, who was a team captain, and usually a pretty reliable deep threat for this Virginia Tech offense. But when you're moving one way and the ball's thrown behind you, that's a tough catch.
Quarterback run could be on the table out of an empty set. There it is, first down, Virginia Tech.
Kind of felt that was coming on third down. Excuse me, on second down, Anish. And Virginia Tech got to have an offensive lineman down. One of the Moore brothers. I think it's Braylon Moore, the center.
It is Braylon Moore, redshirt sophomore, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Plays right next door to his brother, Caden Moore, who's the right guard. Just keep an eye on the middle of the screen. Number 61 kind of gets rolled up. Yeah, one of the defenders for Miami, it may have been Tyler Barron, who rolled into his knee.
Virginia Tech's offensive line already without Laith Ganem tonight. He and Bob Schick had been rotating in at guard. Schick got the start last week with Ganem out. Ganem out again today. ESPN Plus has some great featured games on Saturday.
Bloomfield, Virginia. The Bluefield, Virginia.
So Caden Moore will take over for his brother at center. Brody Meadows does slide in at right guard.
And now to get everybody settled in, just run the football.
A toss to Thomas. Halfback option. He gets lit up, and it's underthrown.
I'm not sure where he was throwing it, but his tight end, Gosnell, Benji Gosnell, who caught the touchdown pass, was working towards the middle portion of the field. One, he's late, and two, he throws it outside, maybe away, and they may get him for intentional grounding because there was no one out there. Let's just see what we have here.
Intentional grounding.
Yeah.
Offense number 24. That's a stop pass. Loss of down. Second down.
Yeah, that's a drive killer.
Now that's tough. Down inside the 35-yard line or so, and to have a play like that, or a penalty happen to move you back, and that is tough to recover from when you're an offense that relies on staying on schedule.
Virginia Tech, their first timeout of the half, 32nd timeout.
And Andre, that was a big part of the game plan tonight. It sounds simple, but if you can stay ahead of the chains, you can neuter some of Miami's pressure packages. Hurricanes come into this game leading the country in sacks. If you're living in second and long, third and long, it's dangerous.
Let's take a look at this and see if he was indeed outside the tackle box. Oh, definitely outside the tackle box. And then there's, I think is correct. He's well outside of it. Once the ball's pitched, he's just about outside of it at that point.
Let's bring in Matt Austin. Matt, what did you see?
Yeah, well, here's why it's intentional grounding. The quarterback gave the possession of the ball up to another player. The player who receives the snap is the only person who has protection from grounding the ball. So yes, this was outside the tackle box, but that's not the original quarterback or the person who received the snap who threw it away. So that is indeed a foul.
If he just throws it inside, let Gosnell make a play on it. It's either an incomplete pass or a reception. You move the ball. If it's incomplete, you're back at the line of scrimmage. But he throws it like, you know, he's turning quarterback and tries to throw it out of bounds. Doing a little too much.
Second and 19. Both teams have 2 timeouts. 4:11 to go. Opening quarter. Both teams have a touchdown off of a turnover. Lane, the motion man. Screen pass to Tootin, and he is upended. Lost a couple more on the play. It's 3rd down. O.J. Frederic, the 3-star freshman who's turned into a find.
Yeah, I mean, they go find players on ability, not based on stars. And this kid is going to be a star at some point here. Just a true freshman, got a lot of length and plays with a lot of passion.
Timeout was called by Miami. Their second timeout of the half. 32nd timeout.
Frederica from one of those programs that you just keep hearing a lot about. You talk about St. Thomas Aquinas. There have been some pretty good football players to come out of that high school.
Tyler Barron, the Tennessee transfer, who has been a one-man tempest this season, is down for Miami. Kane still without Ruben Bain, the ACC Defensive Rookie of the Year.
When they feel that humidity that Kark was talking about, it's like cramps for Barron. Physically imposing player. He's one of those guys that you want to see get off the bus first. You know, that's how this team was built, from the inside out. Offensive line, defensive lines.
Now watch what happens here. Now Barron goes down as Miami's trying to sub off Messidor.
He is some player. And the coaches could not believe that they were able to get him, and he was ready to leave Tennessee. How he got out the door at Tennessee was a major question mark.
Now Barron is limping off the field. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven.
Right now, it's just not make a mistake. If you're going to throw it, there's got to be a shallow cross where a guy turns up and runs and makes a challenge for the first down, but you don't want to turn it over right here if you're Virginia Tech.
3-man rush with a spy. Drones over the middle. Underthrown. Incomplete. Darryl Porter made a play on the ball for Miami, and it's 4th down.
He almost just waited just long enough to get that thing picked off. Surveying, and he's leading too much, leading the intended receiver a little bit too much.
Veteran punter Peter Moore, 3-time captain to kick for Virginia Tech, and Ray Joseph back to return. This one bounces, and it's downed at the 16-yard line. We mentioned the relationship between these two quarterbacks, Drones and Ward. They, along with Shedeur Sanders, trained during the offseason. They're very close. There's a lot of, I guess you can say in quotes, friendly banter between the group.
Daryl Colbert Jr., he is a guy that he's worked with some talented quarterbacks Those guys, a lot of them will go on to play on Sundays, but he knows what he's doing. His dad was a pretty good receiver as well in his own right in his time in the game. Played for the Chiefs, went to TSU, and he's one heck of a player.
Damian Martinez, one cut and a gain of a couple.
Was he alone to bring down? Big back at over 230 pounds. Had 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons at Oregon State. And what's crazy about the whole thing is Mark Fletcher actually was one of the primary recruiters in bringing Martinez. You see, why is that a big story? Because they play the same position. You usually don't have guys recruiting other guys to campus that play the same spot.
Ward, a little shovel. Riley Williams, one of the tight ends. And Andre Mario Cristobal said when Fletcher is trying to go get Martinez to come to Coral Gables, that validates and reinforces the culture that you're trying to bring to a program.
And the type of player that you want to, you just want players who care about winning. Let's go get guys that can come in here and help us win. Not so much the selfish stuff. And that's what Mark Fletcher was all about. Hey, if he can help us win, bring him in.
Ward steps up and runs for the first, brought down from behind. Tackle made by Caleb Woodson, who had 10 tackles against Rutgers last week.
Just so poised. Plays the game at his pace and can, you know, he can hit another gear when he wants to and separate, but he just kind of, it just looks like he's doing what he wants to do whenever he wants to do it right now.
Brings it in. Miami back in plus territory. First catch for Restrepo, who's got a chance to go down as the most prolific wideout in program history.
I don't know if Dorian Strong could have been in better position. The throw is what beats Strong. He's in great position, but it's the throw by Cam Ward pulling his receiver Restrepo down and away from Dorian Strong.
Virginia Tech loves its two corners. They feel Strong and Mansour Delane are both pros. Again off play action, back shoulder. Jacoby George was out of bounds.
He just kind of didn't know where he was along the sideline, and George kind of regretting that one. Let's go back and take a look at that last play by Restrepo. Who's helping him up there? Michael Irvin. He's a guy that can appreciate a tough catch, right? I think he's not a big time part of this U program. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was when Miami was in the heyday of the U. Fletcher machetes his way to the 35.
They can come at you a ton of different ways. Restrepo, Arroyo, Sam Brown have all caught passes, and then here comes Martinez and Fletcher in the running game. Behind a talented offensive line who Mario Cristobal told us this is the strength of the offense. A lot of people think it's Camp. He's one of them, but the offensive line, they're clicking on all cylinders right now.
And they're still without their NFL caliber left tackle, Jalen Rivers. Ward downfield, Restrepo contested, hangs on, first and goal Miami. 5 plays of 25.
Coach, what's the best way to slow down Cam Ward?
Yeah, we're about a half step from getting to him. We got to get a couple hits on him, affect him that way a little bit. Got to be relentless in our rush on him when he gets out of the pocket. But we got to go challenge balls when they're in the air. And right now we're allowing them to catch them.
Thank you, Coach.
First and goal Miami to begin the second quarter. Mark Fletcher Steamrolls to the 5-yard line, 2nd down and goal.
This is where the leadership of a guy like Cam Ward is on full display. When you get him inside the red zone, they have been ridiculous this year. 92%, 16 touchdowns, 6 field goals. This is where all that veteran leadership, all the playing time starts to come to the forefront, because he knows how to take care of the ball, but he also knows how to distribute it and find guys that are open.
Out of a 2 tight end set, back to the ground. It'll bring up a 3rd down and goal.
Run behind Inez Cooper, the right guard, who is just huge. 6'6", 350 pounds. He's lost over 100 pounds. At one point was 450, but he's nimble, big. You see, he's in shape, and they think that he's an NFL talent. I'm going to tell you something. Mario Cristobal says a guy on the offensive line is an NFL talent. I believe it, because he's coached some really good ones onto the NFL.
Both tight ends now go wide to the right.
Changing the play here.
Ward on the run. Floats it back in the end zone. George! Flag down. A touchdown if it stands.
What a throw. The touch to George, which if it stands is his second, but it won't.
Number 7, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Raquel Bell, the left tackle, who came in January from Holmes Community College in Mississippi, is the guilty Miami Hurricane.
He's done a nice job for them, starting in place of Rivers' 4th consecutive start at left tackle.
You find number 70 right there. See if he indeed does hold. Oh, that's touchy.
Ward's throw intercepted. Mose Phillips picks it off. That's a big takeaway for Virginia Tech, with Miami right on the doorstep.
Just lulls him to sleep is Phillips, the safety, and made him think he was going to stay inside. He had a receiver turning up the sideline and made him think he was wide open. And I tell you what, Mose Phillips III, that's a heck of a job of disguising coverage and the last possible second stepping in the passing lane. Well, he thinks he's going to have, I think it's George. No, it's actually Restrepo up the sideline, and boy, does Phillips play it nicely.
First career interception for Mose Phillips, and Virginia Tech with the ball and the chance to tie. Drones finds Lane, who slips down and covers the ball up at the 40-yard line.
Only the 3rd interception of the year for Cam Ward. Boy, was he fooled in. You won't fool him much, especially down in the red zone, because he gets the ball out so quickly. But Phillips did one heck of a job of staying inside just to the last possible second.
Drones quarterback run, sheds a tackle. A yard shy of the marker.
You don't think Drones came to compete tonight?
He did.
You think he doesn't want to win right here in this stadium on the road against a relative, a guy that he works out with, a guy that they sweat in the summers? Oh yeah, and they probably talked about it all off season. But we got something for you. Got some experience coming back.
The most returning starters in college football for Virginia Tech. Handoff, Tootin breaks a tackle. He could go. Bayshore Tootin, 55-yard house call.
and bouncing off defenders to do it. Oh, what a heck of a job by Tootin to get himself free. A nice job up front by the offensive line, Chapman and Schick. And I mean, it's just then a foot race. Marianoa, the linebacker who came in on the tackle, broke that tackle, and boy, we are an extra point from being tied up.
Tootin has been a touchdown machine. That's his 9th of this 14-point swing. Miami on the verge of punching it in. Instead, an interception. And then a 55-yard touchdown run by Bashal Tootin. And we've got a brand new ball game. And the history between these two teams runs back. A lot of memorable games. You go back to their days in the Big East. Even though Miami's won 4 of the last 5 and 7 of the last 10. 03, Miami beats Virginia Tech. Battle of top 3 teams in the Orange Bowl. 2000, or that was 2000. In 03, Virginia Tech ended Miami's 39-game regular season win streak. 04, first year in the ACC for both. Virginia Tech beats Miami in the regular season finale to secure a spot in a BCS bowl game. And then 2017, the last time these two met, when both were ranked teams.
Cam Ward usually follows up a bad play with a good one. So let's see what he has here for us.
Swing pass out of the backfield. And Martinez hammerheads his way for a gain of about 9. 2nd and 1. The playbook is open.
Came back. First mistake of the game. The turnover. And he hit Jacoby George for a touchdown pass at the end of that next drive. So he's off to a pretty good start here with a 9-yard completion to Damian Martinez.
Martinez picks up the tough yards to move the chains.
That's what we talked about earlier, their ability to kind of hit you in both directions through the pass and the running game. We've seen Fletcher come in the game. Martinez is their bruiser. He's the starter, but they can also open it up with an explosive passing game here.
Down the middle, too high for Restrepo. Virginia Tech bringing some pressure that time. Caleb Spencer.
You think he doesn't have confidence in his arm? I mean, that one with guys barreling down in his face, and he's also got a lot of confidence in the receivers on the other end of these the other end of his passes. A guy like Restrepo, who's caught a touchdown pass and has made a couple of big catches in this game.
Shannon Dawson, his OC, telling us Ward's confidence has been contagious.
Stand corrected. Arroyo caught the touchdown, as not Restrepo.
Martinez, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
And this is where, if you're Virginia Tech, you want all 11 defenders dialed in, is what Britt Pry told us. And getting off the field on 3rd down. 3rd and long, you've created it. Now you have to take advantage of it and not allow Miami to pick up a 1st down here. They're the best in the country on this down.
Restrepo in motion. Virginia Tech rushes forward. Ward steps up. Dancing. Slingshot over the middle. That's Jordan Lyle. And they get the freshman by the ankles, not before a gain of 17. Last week, Lyle had a 91-yard touchdown run. Longest run in Miami history.
And 2 words to describe him. And that is super talented, is what the coaching staff used. He is going to be a star, just a true freshman, as you mentioned, but he has worked his way up the depth chart, and they love him around here.
Off-platform throw by Ward. Remind you of anybody?
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Chris Johnson into the game at running back, goes wide. They want Johnson on the wheel. Reaches up, and it's broken up. Incomplete. Dorian Strong. That's Virginia Tech's top corner against a running back.
They've produced some pretty good defensive backs over the years, haven't they? So when they tell you that they've got 2 really good corners, you may want to believe them. Strong and Delane or guys that can flat out play. They've got excellent size. Both are 6'1", go about 6'1", and they can cover you up. On the bottom, they got strong man-to-man.
Ward already over 200 yards passing. They keep it on the ground. And a loss of a yard for Lyle. Third down.
It just never looks like he's in a hurry. I mean, just never looks like he's rushed. Always looks like he's poised. And he's just kind of playing the game at his pace. You're not going to speed him up to make him uncomfortable. A lot of guys will say, oh, we want to get in the quarterback's face and speed up the front. He doesn't. I mean, his heart is barely ticking right now as he plays the game, much slower than a lot of the other guys on the field.
Virginia Tech showing blitz on 3rd and long. Here it comes. Hit from the backside. APR into the box score.
That's number 7.
The nation's sack leader, Antoine Powell-Ryland.
And there are just some guys, Anish, that you cannot leave one-on-one with a tackle. And you've got to have some help from a dangerous pass rusher like APR. He's got every move in the book, and he just swats the hands away of Markel Bell.
So Dylan Joyce, who has not been busy this season, will come on to punt. Just his 5th punt in as many games. And Jalen Lane, a dangerous return man, is the deep man. They've got 2 back there. They kick it away from Lane. And that is Turner Bradshaw. Takes it out across the 30. Virginia Tech ball on the other side.
The Friday night spotlight is on the Virginia Tech football program's brotherly love. The program has had 35 sets of brothers over the years, with some very notable ones like the Fullers and the Edmonds. This year, the Hokies have 3 sets of brothers, including the Gosnells, Stephen and Benji, who happen to be 2 of 13 children their parents, Tommy and Judy, had. Benji, who is the 2nd youngest, told me coming from that size of a family taught him to be selfless, to share everything, and there's never room for what's best for you. It's always about the needs for everyone else. Judy, his mom, at one point in time homeschooled all 13 children. You imagine that? I'm doing the Irish jig when the bus comes for my kids.
Carr, can you imagine Thanksgiving dinner as Lane finds a tunnel all the way to midfield?
Tell you what, you're talking about the Gosnells, and they're one's a tight end, one's obviously a wide receiver. We talked about Braylon and Caden Moore, 2 offensive linemen that play right next to one another. Had a lot of success in bringing in brothers or family members.
Benji Gosnell has a touchdown. There's Tootin. He's got the other one. Slips a tackle. Gets to the outside. Powell can't bring him down. Still fighting. Big first half for Tugboat Tootin, a gain of 15 more. Up to 80 yards rushing.
I think it was Jaden Harris who he gave it to and took it away. I mean, just nice patient run, playing at his speed. And it was actually Powell, the safety, who came up that swung and missed, not Harris.
Hokies have seized momentum. Drones, clean pocket downfield. There's Stephen Gosnell taken down inside the 20-yard line. Mish Powell the stop. Virginia Tech in the red zone.
A nice job by Drones of just hanging in the pocket. Things are collapsing right at his feet, and he stands tall and delivers a nice ball to Gosnell. This is impressive by this Virginia Tech offense. Taking advantage of possessions and moving the football with consistency.
Tootin to the outside, cut down in the backfield.
Well played.
That's a TFL, Akeem Messidor, part of that talented Miami defensive line.
Yeah, does a nice job of disengaging from an offensive lineman. He's versatile, Anish. Yeah, you can line him up at defensive end. You can play him at defensive tackle. The guy is strong, from Ottawa, Ontario. I love that region of the world. in Ottawa.
The reverse. Lane turns the corner. Turns on the Jets. Touchdown, Virginia Tech.
Well, what a block by Kyron Drones, who said quarterbacks right here, keep an eye on him. Cannot block in the open field, does one heck of a job. I mean, he's the guy that makes the block to spring Jalen Lane and get him into the end zone. He's a big guy at 6'2", 234, but man, does he throw the block. Nobody else is there. If he doesn't make that block, there's no way Lane gets in, and he stays with the block, which makes it even more impressive.
Yeah, that's going to earn him some love in the film room. The PAT good. They wanted to get the ball in space to Jalen Lane. They did just that. They wanted Drones to settle down in the pocket. He has. Now Preston Stone, Kevin Jennings. They have settled on Jennings, and he went off against TCU. Andre, Miami's been so good offensively, so good defensively through these first 4 games. They mauled Florida week 1. They beat a South Florida team that I think people are going to take notice of once they start making hay in their conference. That's a pretty good USF team. The run game, though, if you're going to nitpick, has not been as complimentary to the pass game.
And we are nitpicking when you go for 200 yards a game. But tonight, it's just been an area where Virginia Tech has chosen to anchor itself down and stop the run. And well, you say, well, you're going to stop the run and force Cam Ward to pass it? Yeah, but now you've got the nation's best pass rusher teeing off, coming after it.
Now the blitz. Ward takes a shot for George. Covered well by Mansour Delane.
They haven't had to have a run game to date. Average margin of victory, 42 points has been the Cam Ward show. But I'll tell you, the defensive line, when you're talking to Mario Cristobal before the game, which I was, he said that was a point of concern. They have a legit defensive line, Virginia Tech, the best they've faced to date.
We talk a lot about APR, but Cole Nelson on the other side is another legit pass rusher.
Hokies feel the D-line is the strength of their defense. Ward in trouble. Gets rid of it. Restrepo in an ambush. And a huge loss inside the 15-yard line.
Well, he thought about just throwing it at the feet of Restrepo, and he probably should have, because now it's 3rd and forever, and you could have come back, and it's right around 3rd and some change, 3rd and 10 or so. But a nice job by Virginia Tech of just not really going for the fakes of Cam Ward, where they were positioned perfectly to make a play.
They pressured as if they knew it was a screen.
Exactly right. Now it's just don't give up the first down or commit a penalty.
This might be a free play.
It is.
Burgos jumped. Ward rolling out. APR chasing him. It's a throwaway, but a tax on 5 yards for Miami.
He knew that he had a free play, but didn't want to hang anybody out to dry over the middle. And as he's kind of rolling to his right, you're running out of places to go with the football quickly.
Offside, defense, number 2. 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
And you got to give credit to Virginia Tech, where they didn't stop playing, kept pursuing, where Cam Ward couldn't set his feet and just knife one back to someone over the middle, because he knew he had a free play. So keep him moving and then force the throwaway.
Strong moves to the slot where he's matched up on Restrepo. Against a twist, Ward dancing. Pump fakes. Stiff arm. Backpedaling. Able to complete. Let's see where they mark this.
Maybe just shy of the marker, but it's close enough to where it gives your head coach something to think about.
Jacoby George made the catch a yard shy of the line to gain.
No, yeah, he plays the game the way he wants to and at the speed he wants to play it at. Nice job of kind of stepping up in the pocket you just stiff-armed a defensive lineman to the ground before the big completion.
Wilfred Penay is down for Virginia Tech.
I think when they look at this, it's going to be closer. George got closer to this first down marker than they spotted.
Are you thinking about going for it? Minus territory. 4:19 to go, first half. Virginia Tech gets the ball to open.
I would punt the football away and play defense, especially where the field position is now. Now, if they give him where I thought George caught the football, it's going to be a lot closer, and I think they could sneak it and get the first down. This is a full yard away. I think he has the first down on the catch.
The ruling on the field, the runner was short of the line of game. The previous play is under further review.
It's certainly not a full yard where they have it marked.
Let's bring in Matt Austin. Matt, you're looking at where the defender contacts George. This may go Miami's way.
Well, that's correct. The problem is you don't have a camera angle right down the 35-yard line. But yeah, when the receiver is running back towards the quarterback and catches the ball, he has to get, if he's running, his momentum is heading towards his own goal line, then he has to get back to the first down marker. So where they mark him is where he is pushed when he's made contact by the defender and he starts pushing him back further. So yes, he should get the ball very, very close to the 35, but I'm not sure there's indisputable or clear and obvious evidence to say that that contact and the ball was not past the 35 when the contact happened.
Yeah, awfully close. And with these spot plays, Matt, we've noticed over the years, the call on the field is so important because it seems that these spot plays are awfully hard to overturn.
Yeah, especially when you don't have a camera going right down the line. Yes.
Right. And where they have it, him being kind of engaged by the defender, it still looks closer to the first down marker than where they have the ball spotted. So this will be interesting if they do indeed move it.
And if Miami doesn't get it.
After further review, the the receiver's forward progress was beyond the 35-yard line. Therefore, the play results in a first down Miami.
That's a moot point. It's a first down for Miami. I was going to bring up the fact if it was fourth, in the back of Virginia Tech's mind, should Miami go for it, has to be that touchdown pass to Arroyo.
Yeah, no doubt. And then, you know, you start talking about third down and long again, exactly where Virginia Tech wanted Miami. Once again, Cam Ward showing you the experience of a lot of snaps that he's taken and just really not getting out of his, you know, his character, so to speak.
That's what a first-round pick at quarterback does for you. Ward lets it fly. Incomplete. Wanted Isaiah Horton, who had a breakout game last week. How about this? Miami was the only team in the country with 3 wideouts on the preseason Biletnikoff Award watch list. That award goes to the best wide receiver, and the coach is telling us, hey, Isaiah Horton is coming along. He's a guy with considerable talent.
Yeah.
He's close to being in that group with Restrepo and DeGeorge and Brown.
They've got some talent. I mean, the guys that back up, the guys that are backups get started a lot of places.
Quick screen. There's Sam Brown. And Virginia Tech gobbles him up for a loss.
The one thing you can't do if you're Sam Brown is the one thing he did, which is try to make guys miss. You've got to just take what's there. It's like a running back and seeing a plugged up hole. You're not going to break every run. You're not going to break every screen pass. You just got to get yourself back to the line of scrimmage. And by trying to make guys miss, 9 times out of 10, you're going to go backwards and lose yardage.
Miami's been excellent on third down this season, and now Antoine Powell-Ryland can pin his ears back for Virginia Tech. 52 and white.
Just 2 of 6 when trying to go down the field is Cam Ward.
Ward in trouble, finally met by Powell-Ryland, who was like a poker player playing the long game. He waited and waited and waited almost as a spy and then finished off Ward for the sack.
And Caleb Woodson is in there to help out as well, number 20. But they're coming from basically anywhere, and they are flying and sacrificing their bodies. Powell right up the middle. You get Woodson that gets there along with APR. Man, impressive on defense is Virginia Tech.
Fair catch called for and made by Lane.
For that team and Tua being out, just hope he's okay. He's playing so well. And so, the Dolphins overall playing well. But you can't make it move if you don't have a quarterback, no matter how good you are. It's the skill position spots.
2 timeouts left for Virginia Tech. Tootin makes that first guy miss yet again and turns that into positive yards.
Anish, Braylon Moore has still not returned. Trainers were working on his right knee area. They wrapped it up, but this really affects 2 spots on the offensive line because brother Caden, who's the right guard, moves over to center. So I'll update you on his status, but right now still no return.
And Brody Meadows moved from the bench to right guard. Tech scores here. They get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter. They felt this team was close.
This is the 2-minute timeout. Please reset game clock to 2 minutes. Thank you.
2-minute timeout here at Hard Rock Stadium. Brent Pry's team with a 7-point lead on number. All right, Matt, the Hokies are doing more than hanging in. They've got a 7-point lead. Drones and the run game have been in command. That one thrown away. It's 3rd down. And now if you're Miami and Mario Cristobal, Andre, you still have 1 timeout. You know, Virginia Tech gets the ball first. You get a stop. You give Cam Ward 1 more chance to tie this game.
Yeah, and I thought fully that Virginia Tech would run the football there to try to get themselves back on schedule to pick up this 3rd down. This is uncharted waters. This is not where they want to be at 3rd down and long, 3rd and 9. It's advantage Miami right here. You got a boatload of pass rushers. You know they're trying to pick up the 1st down, so guys can pin their ears back and get after drones. Think about it.
Timeout, Virginia Tech. Their 2nd timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Brent Pry, when we spoke to him, downplayed a little bit of the losses to Vanderbilt and Rutgers. He felt these first 4 games he's seen a lot of self-inflicted wounds, special teams mishaps. They felt coming to South Florida that this was a team that was just a few plays away from being 4-0. Tonight in the first half, we're seeing the version of Virginia Tech that a lot of us thought we would see from week 1.
Creating stops, creating turnovers, and they're scoring off those turnovers. The 2 turnovers that they've been able to come up with, they put points, and not just points, but the big points on the scoreboard by way of touchdowns. So that has a lot to do with everything in terms of the success that Virginia Tech has had here in the first half.
There's the blitz. Drone steps up, chased from the backside, runs for the 1st and then some, and that'll momentarily stop the clock.
He just flat out outruns a couple of defenders. Elijah Alston, who's trying to catch him from behind, just can't catch him. This is a little bit faster than you think. He is a physical runner when they pull it down, and they'll call quarterback runs for him because they love his physicality in the running game, and it gives them a different offset from Tootin and what he brings when you run drones. That's a big 1st down for them in terms of keeping Miami off the field and possessing the football with an opportunity to score with a timeout left.
Simeon Barrow was the injured Miami player. They're looking at Jaden Harris, the safety, as well. Barrow, a big part of what they do up front, along with Aaron and Messidor, Bain when he comes back, Alston.
You know, I love watching quarterback play and wide receivers do their thing, but I turn on the Miami defensive film, and or video and start watching this big guy plug holes in the middle. Love watching him this week. Really strong at the point of attack and very hard to move from the middle of Miami's defensive front. Good pass rusher, underrated pass rusher as well as a defensive tackle.
Andre, I see what you're doing. You're trying to avoid the use of film.
I am. I'm trying to go all video. Coming into 2024, and actually we're on the tail end of 2024, so maybe going into 2025, I'll have the word totally eliminated.
1st and 10, just inside midfield. There's Tootin. Close to 100 yards rushing in the first half. Clock continues to run. Virginia Tech, 1 timeout remaining.
Boy, great block by Parker Clements, the right tackle for Virginia Tech. He cleaned it up and allowed Tootin to turn the corner.
Drones chased by Farron, throws on the run. Green gets out of bounds and picks up a first down at the 40, and they're about 5-6 yards now from a reasonable field goal attempt for John Love.
Right, good protection, and you can see Drones going through his progressions, and then you got to become an athlete. Throw on the move as guys start to engage in the pocket, starts to break down. Boy, I have been as impressed with him as any other game I've watched this year, the other 4 games that I've seen Kyron Drones play in.
First catch of the night for Green. On the ground, Tootin up the middle.
Boy, you got to take your hat off. You get Caden Moore moving over to center. Brody Meadows stepping in at right guard. Reshuffled offensive line for Virginia Tech, yet they're still able to run the football and protect their quarterback.
Less than 40 seconds. Drones downfield into coverage, broken up. A trio of Hurricanes near that ball, intended for Stephen Gosnell.
And you can't be late. If he's a split second earlier, I think he's able to squeeze that one in. But when you're just a tad bit late, you see it, it's already too late. That ball should have been gone before the break, and if anything, should have been in the hands of St. Germain, the tight end.
How aggressive is Virginia Tech here?
I think they've got to get within field goal range. They said John Love is about 54 and in or so, and he toys around with 49-yarders.
That's not what you want. Oh, sacked back at the 40-yard line. That was the last thing Virginia Tech wanted. It's a negative play.
So if you do your math, they were in field goal range already. Just run the football. And you fall in love with that shotgun stuff, Anish. Sometimes it produces bad results.
And it seemed Virginia Tech was playing it safe, and Miami read the play.
It just allows, in my opinion, your back away from the line of scrimmage, certain downs and distances, especially there, where if you just run the football for anything, or get it back to the line of scrimmage, it's an easier field goal attempt. But when you get in the shotgun, you're allowing for penetration and nowhere to go. Guys are in their rush lanes. That's a lot of pressure on a quarterback.
So the line of scrimmage is the 40. This will be about a 57, 58-yarder for John Love. It's going to be a 58-yarder.
His long for the year this year is 42 against Marshall.
Career long 47. Only one attempt in his career of 50-plus, which he missed. It's good. Love from 58.
Could have been good from 68.
A career long by 11 yards.
Wow, did he hit that thing. I mean, the operation was perfect. The snap, the hold, and did he get into that one? Oh, yeah, that's good for another 10 yards or so. My goodness, John Love.
A Justin Tucker 58-yarder.
Well, why should we expect anything less with the Virginia Tech special teams?
Yeah, no doubt. Hallmark of the program since Frank Beamer took over. This season, All-State celebrates every field goal and extra point made with a donation to the participating university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, All-State. So John Love makes it a 2-score game. He's now made 22 of his last 23 kicks. And it's a 2-score lead for Tech. 20 seconds to go in the second quarter. Virginia Tech gets the ball to begin the third quarter.
Wow. And that makes the 2 scores that much more impressive when you start talking about getting the ball out of the locker room, the way they've been hot on offense.
Bouncing kick, fielded by Johnson. Florida track champion, he's a burner. He was one stiff arm and one broken tackle from running into the end zone.
What he's done, though, is he's given Mario Cristobal something to think about here. And Shannon Dawson, the offensive coordinator for Miami. 15 seconds, your cross are just beyond midfield. A completion or two, and you got a timeout.
Dante Lovett saved a touchdown.
Yes, he did.
For Virginia Tech.
The point is you have time to at least get a field goal attempt up here.
Miami has the 1 timeout. And they've got a strong-footed kicker. Ward takes a shot. Back shoulder broken up. Flag down. Dorian Strong in coverage. Remember, it's not a spot foul in college football.
But it does get them closer to field goal range with 10 seconds left.
15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Going to the redshirt sophomore, Horton. And it's Strong who gets called for it. Got to back this one up to about the 38 or so. All the way down as if it were a spot foul. I keep wondering when that rule's going to change and become a spot foul.
On Tuesday, the Miami kicker, Andy Borregales, hit the right upright from 64 in practice. His career long is 55. Ward, a strike over the middle, just out of the reach of Restrepo. 5 seconds to go. And 1 timeout. What do you do?
Yeah, you're wondering why across the middle. He still has the timeout. You can go anywhere quickly and still get the timeout called. So,
do you have enough time for a play?
I'd go ahead and kick it right here in case something went wrong. I may go ahead and kick the field goal right here if I'm Coach Cristobal.
There's still 15 seconds on the play clock. Miami breaks the huddle.
Don't want to have to spend it shuffling guys around. That's exactly the case. So now you got to go ahead and kick it.
Timeout, Miami. The third and final timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
That 55-yarder you're talking about, it's been a few years ago. Or 2021 against Michigan State. They hadn't had to bring out the driver in a while.
For his career, Borregales 5 of 8 from 50 plus. His older brother Jose, former Groza Award winner at Miami. Andy was a semifinalist for the Groza a season ago.
It's a family full of kickers.
Yep.
56 yards or so here.
Dylan Joyce will hold, and looks to be a 56-yard field goal attempt. It would be a new career long.
See if the pink shoes will pull him through here.
He got plenty of this one and tucks it inside the upright. As we take a look at our player spotlight brought to you by Cintas.
Here we go. You see just the production tonight from Cam Ward, over 200 yards passing, but trailing on the scoreboard. And then Tootin has been, he's just running like, you know, like we expected him to. A guy that has found himself in the secondary, averaging about 9 yards a clip. It's impressive, the job that Virginia Tech has been able to do here on the road in this one.
They feed Tootin, and he rams his way for a first down for Virginia Tech. Now north of 100 yards rushing for 4 straight games as we check in with Paul Carcaterra.
Andre, you're talking out the Virginia Tech run game, and I just spoke to Brent Pry. He said he loved the way that his offensive line responded when Braylon Moore was out their center. They had to shuffle some things around. 138 yards on the ground, and in the second quarter, he feels like they put Miami in a lot of scenarios, 3rd and long, and the pass rush was there.
Miami into the backfield. Tootin will lose a couple on this play, 2nd down.
Just tremendous penetration by Miami. They were anticipating run on 1st down, and a lot of guys around the line of scrimmage and making plays. Daryl Porter Jr. doing a nice job right there in the box to make that tackle.
Tootin will try to get some of it back and plows to the 41, 3rd down.
What a nice kick out block by Benji Gosnell, the tight end, to open up a nice seam inside for Tootin. Now, I tell you what, Carr talked about it. 138 yards in the first half rushing for Virginia Tech. It's impressive because Miami was only allowing 64 yards per contest on the ground. That's 2nd in the ACC, 6th in the nation.
Quick throw, Gosnell the catch, turns it upfield. 1st down, Virginia Tech, back into Miami territory, flag down.
And a flag right back around the line of scrimmage.
Defense number 9.
Doesn't matter though.
The penalty is declined. Result of the play accepted. 1st down.
Tyler Barron, the all-everything defensive end for the Hurricanes, but a nice block by the brother as well. They get it thrown out to Stephen Gosnell, but it's Benji, the tight end, who does just enough to get his brother up the field and holds a block for him to pick up the 1st down.
Stephen Gosnell tore his ACL during the Military Bowl in December and was back on the field 8 months later.
He is a sure-handed receiver that they love him on crossing routes.
We have not seen much of Ali Jennings. He was in there earlier for Virginia Tech. Malachi Thomas gets the call, got a yard. Jennings, a former 1,000-yard receiver at ODU.
Got to stay on schedule here, so expect a short pass from Virginia Tech or another run, something in the running game to where they stay and get themselves to 3rd and medium.
The tight end Benji Gosnell in motion. Jalen Lane in the slot. Toss to Malachi Thomas. Hit by Alston. And he got a yard. 3rd down at about 7.
This is when they like to move Kyron Drones on a rollout, short rolls to one side of the field or the other. It's usually been to the wide side of the field, so he has a little more room to extend the play.
Drones rolling, chased by Barron, pumps. He's going to be short. 4th down. Wesley Besaint making the play.
They're not afraid to roll the dice. They've done it 8 times this year. 3 of 8 on 4th down attempts. It's just 38%. But when you have a weapon like John Love, why not add points and extend this back to a 2-score lead?
Love hit from 58 late in the first half. This is from 52. Why not? 2 for 2.
Virginia Tech and where they are, and then obviously Miami. This is a huge quarter for them, where they just flat out outscore opponents 59-3 in the 3rd quarter this season.
Will try to establish the run. Damian Martinez hammers across the 40 for a 1st down, a gain of 17. Clark.
Mario Cristobal was an offensive lineman. He coached the position for so many years. He wants his team to establish a run game, protect Cam Ward better. Defensively, he told me moments ago, they need to wrap when they tackle Drones, the quarterback for Virginia Tech, and establish the trenches. It's all about the trenches with Cristobal. It's the way that he's recruited. And when we spoke to him this week, gentlemen, that's the difference in year 3. The 24-month plan was to establish the trenches.
Yeah, that's how this team was built, in these from the inside out, the offense and defensive lines. The last thing that came was Cam Ward plugging in a quarterback to all of this.
Meanwhile, for Virginia Tech, the nation's leader in sacks, Antoine Powell-Ryland, back as the #1 quarterback prospect for the next draft. Jalen Milroe, number 5, and at number 4, Miami's Cam Ward.
That's going to change.
Why do you say that?
Because I don't agree with it off the cuff right away, and then you start to see this young man play and some of the things he can do. He's going to jump up a lot of draft boards.
They keep it on the ground. Wow. Stopped at the line of scrimmage by Spencer. It's 3rd down, so 3 straight runs to begin this 3rd quarter drive for Miami, trying to establish the line of scrimmage. And this Virginia Tech defensive line has held its own, and right now no Antoine Powell-Ryland on the field. He was helped off by the trainers during the commercial break.
Burgos is in for him. Another excellent pass rusher for Virginia Tech.
Pressure off the edge, quick throw, Restrepo on the slant, and then the yak.
Well, this is off a blitz, but needs great recognition by Cam Ward and Restrepo. He's just going to turn and show the numbers once he's open on the outside. They pick up the blitz, sitting right there for his quarterback to deliver the football, and they are right in sync with one another.
Restrepo last year 1,000 yards receiving. Just the 6th time a Miami wide receiver did that. Off play action. Ward can run. He will.
That's enough, I think, for just a little bit shy of the 1st down marker. No, he actually got there. He's just so calm, cool, and collected that he's not in a hurry to do anything. He processes well. The only thing he does fast is get through his reads, and the ball comes out. And it's a very, very quick delivery, that of Cam Ward.
There was a great Hemingway line on a bullfighter when he said, "I've never seen him do an awkward thing. He won't until he gets scared. He never gets scared." That seems to be Cam Ward as Damian Martinez lowers the head and gets inside the 25.
The confidence just oozes off the young man. I know he's not afraid of anything. You got APR there, and he's going to the locker room. I initially thought it was just cramps. Maybe bad enough where he needs maybe an IV.
That's a big loss. He leads the nation in sacks. 9.5 sacks a season ago. Ward downfield, tipped and picked. Spencer off the deflection. Spencer's got a convoy. Arroyo finally chased him down the tight end.
Cam Ward had 2 interceptions coming into tonight's ball game. He has 2 tonight. They just peel back. Nice job by Dorian Strong. It gets tipped into the air. And then it's Spencer with the interception.
Caleb Spencer, a Miami transfer.
What a heck of an effort. And he didn't just try to, he wasn't satisfied with just the interception. He was trying to house that baby.
Almost did.
Yeah, if not for the effort of Arroyo, he might have been in the end zone.
Virginia Tech has 2 touchdowns off of Miami's first 2 turnovers. Drones moving the pocket, fires on the run, incomplete. That's a ball that has to be caught by Gosnell.
If you're coming to win, it's a tough catch, but it's a catch that has to be made. Gosnell is a dependable, sure-handed receiver. You're not going to see him drop many, but boy, that's one that he's gonna kick himself over even if they win this game.
There's the toss to Tootin. Now that play has been working all night, really all season for Virginia Tech.
That little quick pitch, I mean, it gets you outside, and all you need is just somewhat of a get in the way block so that he can turn the corner or get himself up the field. And they've done one heck of a job with that play and getting it blocked up just right for Tootin.
3 to go on 3rd down. There's the rush. Drones drops it off, incomplete, left it short for Benji Gosnell, the tight end, and John Love will come on for field goal attempt number 3.
Crazy part about it is both Gosnell brothers were in the same area. Steven was there along with Benji, and Steven's showing a little frustration because he knew somebody's in the wrong spot.
ACC opener for both Virginia Tech and Miami. Love is hit from 58 and 52.
These are the tough ones.
From 27. They try to fake. Harrison St. Germain tackled, and Miami takes over.
Let's go back and take a look at the play by Malik Bryant, who gets excellent penetration, doesn't fool him, and they're trying to run a little shovel pass underneath to St. Germain, goes for nothing. My question, Anish, why not just kick the field goal?
Well, you had the turnover. Now you've given Miami some momentum back. Fletcher gets the call on 1st down.
Exactly right. I mean, you kick it, you extend the lead to 30-17, and just it's a little bit more pressure than Miami feels right now. Well, they're feeling pretty good about themselves after that stop.
Ward boomerangs it, and he's got an open man. That's Jacoby George. You imagine part of the thinking was it remains a 2-score game with a field goal. You get all that, but you've got Miami on the ropes right now.
Yeah.
And now you've given them an opening. And let's be honest, Andre, when you play a team like Virginia Tech, when it comes to special teams, you prepare for everything.
You're expecting something like that at some point, and tell you what, hats off to the Hurricanes. They were prepared, ready, and executed.
Time for Ward. Hit as he throws it, and it's caught. Isaiah Horton brings in the wounded duck.
But it's going right. It's going right. They get to the face of Cam Ward. rush, and he's hit right as the ball is about to come out. Stays in the air forever. Panay hits him, and it's Horton, the youngster, the redshirt sophomore out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, that comes up with a big grab.
Had a career high 8 catches for 108 yards last week. Fletcher sets up a second down, and you get the sense Miami a little more committed to the run, establishing the line of scrimmage here.
They are. They have their run blocking tight end in the game, and Cam McCormick, who is excellent, an excellent inline blocking tight end that opened up a nice little crease there. And as I say that, Arroyo's back in the game.
There's the speedy Chris Johnson. He's got blockers in front. Elite world-class speed, feathers the sideline before he's pushed out.
Noah, the right tackle, watch his block here as he steps down, pulls outside. Just showing you the agility of a big guy. Cleans up everything. Hey, I got you. Trust the block. Young fella, come on behind me. What a block. And they just praise this young true sophomore that they have at right tackle. He got one block. Yeah, he got one block and was looking for a second one down the field.
Who did Mario Cristobal compare him to?
Panay Sewell, the best, one of the best in the business on the next level. He has next level talent. The young man, number 61. Oh, I know him.
Meanwhile, an injured player for Virginia Tech. Dorian Strong, one of their top corners, was down.
Boy, that fake field goal. Don't you know, Virginia Tech and everybody on that sideline would love to have that call back. Because it has ignited this Miami sideline.
Jalen Jones also down, so 2 members of that defensive backfield. A strong 44 went down. Jones, a converted wide receiver from Thomas Jefferson High School in Richmond. First player from his high school to sign with a Power 5 team since 1974. He's finally helped up.
Good to see him up. I was hoping to see APR. You want to see these teams play one another when both are at full speed, full strength, I'm sorry.
Miami's run game has been activated in the 3rd quarter. Strong and Jones on the sideline. And off to Lyle. And he spun down quickly, a gain of a couple.
91-yard touchdown run in their last game against South Florida. It's the longest in school history. The coaches just love and rave about his ability.
A true freshman from Fort Lauderdale. Miami flipped him after he was committed to Ohio State. Johnson motions out. Pressure off the edge. They set up the screen. Dangerous play. It's incomplete.
Hey, what, had he timed it? That was 6. It was getting ready to go for a while to Lofton. Elijah Lofton, one of the tight ends. If he is able to come down with that thing, there is nobody in front of him, and he's got a convoy of about 4 offensive linemen that had built a wall right in the middle of the field, and he just turns up. He's going to walk in the end zone.
Miami entered the night as the best 3rd down team in the country. 7 for 11. Ward steps up, tucks, runs, touchdown Miami.
It's the part of his game that everyone seems to forget about. Yes, you get so captivated by his calmness and his ability to throw from the pocket that you forget he can do things like this when he pulls it down. It's a tough run, breaking a tackle, taking on a defender right before you go into the end zone. He's got everything you need to play the position.
Think of the wild pendulum swings we've had. Miami driving. Spencer, the former Hurricane, gets the pick. Returns it 80 yards. Virginia Tech sets up for a field goal. They try a fake. It's stopped. Miami gets the ball back, marches right down the field and scores. That's a 10-point swing.
Third quarter rushing for Miami, 89 yards in just the third quarter. Can they run the football? Absolutely.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Winning is easier when you're road game ready. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear more driven. It has been loud tonight at Hard Rock Stadium.
Well, you got the mascot right in the middle of the field, getting this crowd. Oh, he's getting them riled up.
Sebastian finally runs off. Seabass and the boys got a little to cheer about now.
No doubt, the momentum on the side of the guys that have on the orange jerseys here in the third quarter.
What is Virginia Tech's counter? Now, you brought up the fact the field goal, you're trying to make it more than a two-score game. You try the fake, it didn't work, but the momentum swing was real. The crowd re-engaged as you go back to the fake field goal on Tech's previous drive.
This place has just been energized as the defense comes on the field, but the touchdown run of Cam Ward has got this place. It's electric in here all of a sudden.
Over the last 20 years, there have been a lot of false flags proclaiming the U is back.
Oh, I think they are starting to look like Miami should look.
Drones chucks it to the sideline, and the tight end Gosnell with the rescue.
That's a heck of a play.
It appeared to be a broken play.
Yeah, I thought Drones was getting ready to go down in the backfield, and Gosnell, the tight end version of the family, finds himself wide open in the flat. Dangerous pass, but man, is it effective.
Malik Bryant, who blew up the fake field goal attempt, almost got to Drones. A first down run for Tootin.
And you ask, what does Virginia Tech need to do?
Exactly what they're doing. Move the chains, eat away at the clock, and find a way to the scoreboard at the end of drives. How do you do all that? Staying on schedule, which is the thing they told us. Orange hadn't had to deal with this crowd noise much of the game.
A toss to Tootin. There's Bryant again. He's been in the middle of it all.
And they feel good about Tootin, Anish, to the point where, you know, hey, we're going to put you out in space. We know you're going to have defenders show up, but we like what you bring, and he moves the pile towards the defense as opposed to back towards his offensive side of the ball. But man, he comes up a little bit gimpy after that run.
18 touches for Tootin. They wanted to get him 20. A.J. Prelo breaking free. Legacy player at Virginia Tech. Down the sideline, reaching. Wow, for 6, but hold on. A flag back at the line of scrimmage.
I think it's going to be against Caden Moore. He was saying, no, I didn't, but that yellow flag says, yes, you did.
Offense, number 68. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Wow. Let's see if it was even a factor in this run. That looks just like a good block. Oh my goodness. That looked like a good block by Caden Moore to me. Man, no wonder he had his hands up and was pleading his case as the play was taking place.
Drones, shot play. Incomplete. Frederic and
I thought a flag should come out. He got, yanked.
There's a flag.
Yeah, he got yanked at the point he's trying to go back and make a play on the football. Just can't do it. The line judge from way back is the one that throws the flag. And I thought rightfully so.
Pass interference. Defense, number 29. 15-yard penalty. Let him out of first down.
Boy,
This is the end of the third quarter. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced to start the fourth quarter.
Describe the emotions of this game.
Well, it's a back-and-forth game. Conference play is going to be like that. We've had a lot of issues. You know, we create our own problems a couple times, but we keep fighting. We keep trying to get back into it. They got guys go down. We got guys go down. We just keep playing.
What do you need from your defense right now?
Stops. You know, that was a great defensive play, but, you know, it is what it is. Just got to keep playing, man. You just got to keep playing.
Thank you, Coach.
Gotta keep playing. Nobody willing to flinch right now, Anish.
Conference opener, Miami and Virginia Tech. Hurricanes in the top 10. Tech, after an up and down non-conference schedule, looking to score a big win before the start of the fourth quarter. Both teams getting into it near the logo at midfield. Virginia Tech
Backing down at all. Not one bit. Oh, love it. On a Friday night, my friend.
play clock is
Seconds
four.
gonna have to
Now they have
spin
a
a
play clock
timeout.
issue, and I think we're going to get a whistle. The play clock was at 5, then jumped to 25.
We started at 25, so get almost a do-over here if you're Virginia Tech offensively. Take your time a little bit.
Tootin up the middle. Another big run, 16 more. Tootin's up to 136 on the ground.
The Saint, one of the linebackers, he's on a second, third level as he's trying to run down Tootin. This is just what the doctor ordered if you're a Virginia Tech fan. Eat the clock, long drives, convert, stay on schedule.
Tootin picks up 2.
Watching Tootin right now, he's the perfect blend of speed with vision and toughness. In high school, he ran one of the fastest 60-meter times in South Jersey history. He also wrestled growing up and taught him balance and leverage, but more importantly, Andre, we love wrestlers, man. No point in the finger mentality, because it's one-on-one, it's old school, and rarely do you see the smaller running back, the wrestler. It's always these big linemen, but Tootin got it done on the mat.
Yeah, he hadn't been lined up much tonight, Clark. He's making guys miss. They think they have him in their eyesight, and then all of a sudden he's through them into the next guy.
Here's the blitz. Drone stands in, completes. Lane giving Tech a red zone chance.
What a response to a beautiful Miami drive. Virginia Tech putting one of their own together, mixing the run with the pass brilliantly. Quarterback, maybe quarterback draw right here, Anish.
A screen to Tootin. And he is tackled from behind by Alston.
They love to empty things out and then let Kyron Drones run the quarterback draw. He's so big and physical. When he gets down here inside the red zone, you better make sure that you wrap up number one. He can run out of tackles. Clark was telling us just how big he is in his lower body during one of the breaks. That allows you to break tackles and continue runs, I'm sorry.
6'2", 230. Houston kid, cousins with Cam Ward. Started at Baylor, led Virginia Tech to a 5-2 finish last year. Play clock at 1.
Spend the timeout so they don't get the 5-yard penalty.
Timeout. Virginia Tech, their first timeout of the half. Full media timeout.
You can feel the tension at Hard Rock Stadium. Two old rivals and the ACC opener. A game decided by 3. With a 3-point lead on the road against a number 7 Miami. Hokies were more than a 2-touchdown underdog tonight. Drones chased, hit, throws it away in the direction of Green.
And he had Green one-on-one at the top of the screen, working against Porter. And if you want a quick throw, it's the pre-snap read that takes you to that matchup where the ball can come out, and it's just those two that are going to battle over it, rather than an almost sack and another momentum swing. He's got the same matchup again.
Miami brings pressure. Drones retreating. Heaves it into the end zone. Caught. Hayden Green for the touchdown. A magician in Magic City. Kyron Drones. What a play.
Boy, the job that Hayden Green does to get himself open. And how about Kyron Drones extending this play? Pressure right away. He's going to get away from the pass rush of a few Miami Hurricane defenders. And then Mr. Green at the end of it. Boy, what a drive by Virginia Tech in response to Miami. They just refuse, Anish, to flinch and refuse to go away.
They have made it a 2-score game with 12:05 to go. And all of a sudden the volume has been turned down considerably.
10 plays, 75 yards. They chew up around 5 minutes and 15 seconds or so. And once again, big plays, or excuse me, big points on the end of drives. This drive, rather.
Elijah Alston shaken up after the play. Extra point by Love. It's a 10-point lead for Virginia Tech. 12:05 left in regulation. Kyron Drones, 2 touchdowns through the air. 30 yards rushing on the ground. Tootin, a Virginia Tech career high 138 yards.
And I asked Coach Brent Pryor, what's your message to the team? He says, hey, it's an opportunity to go down and play against a top 10 team on the road, a team and a program the caliber that of the University of Miami. And he followed it up with, this is why they came to Virginia Tech, to play in games like this and of this caliber. It has not disappointed tonight.
Virginia Tech has had a counterpunch. They've taken advantage of 3 Miami turnovers.
They're sitting in the middle of the ring, just throwing punches at each other, and no one will back up.
It's time for tonight's American Express game track. And we look at the 2 quarterbacks, both from the Houston area, both cousins.
Yeah, completion percentage favors Cam Ward a little bit, and obviously yards, but the 2 turnovers. One drones of one of his own, but well, I tell you what, both teams they've rolled their sleeves up and they came to play tonight.
Virginia Tech felt they let the Vanderbilt game slip away. They let the Rutgers game slip away because of how they started, making some miscues, self-inflicted errors. They felt they were a few plays from 4-0. This has been a vintage lunch pail performance from the Hokies.
Totally agree with you in that regard. It's been a workman's-like football game here for Virginia Tech, and it's exactly what they said it was going to take. It's going to take 60 minutes of football. They knew it and came in prepared to play it. And it looks like they may get APR back for this series. Son lined up on the sideline with the defense, ready to make his way back in.
We check in with Kark.
I'm about 5 yards from APR. He's jumping up and down. He is ready to go. Chin strap is buckled, and you know what's interesting? If someone talked about this game in August, no one would be surprised with what's going on right now. Virginia Tech returned 21 starters from a year ago. Drones, the quarterback, ended the season with a 5-2 record. I was talking to Jim Phillips, who's the ACC commissioner, and we were talking about those 2 losses. This is a team that's capable of coming down to Miami and winning.
This was a team that a lot of folks nationally thought could be a dark horse, not just to win the ACC, but as a potential playoff team. Cam Ward entered the night with the Heisman hoopla around him. Virginia Tech was offsides on the kickoff, so Miami will start at the 30 instead of the 25, and Cam Ward had that first close-up week 1 against Florida. He's got another one tonight. Chris Johnson motions out. Johnson catches the screen. Stiff arm. Out of bounds near the 35.
Well, you just kind of have to stay at home with him, right? If you're the first guy to arrive, because you know he's going to throw you a move. And if you bite on the move, he's so quick and fast that he's by you. And it looked as though Delane was in position, but then once he gave him the hint to go inside, he bit. And that allowed him to pick up, what, 4 yards, where basically it should have been nothing.
Woodson blitzing. Ward stands in, and Woodson affected the throw. It's 3rd down.
Totally affected the throw. They bring Woodson off the edge. He's right into the face of Cam Ward immediately. And so you're trying to throw a little hitch to the outside. You can't really even see where your receiver's located.
Antoine Powell-Ryland into the game on this 3rd down, passing down. Ward will run for the 1st down. Gets himself up at the 43.
Just the ability to make plays with his legs and He's going to utilize everything in the toy box right now, trying to will his team back in this game.
Not much for Damian Martinez.
Nice and late. That's going at it. Woodson going at it with maybe Arroyo, the tight end, all the way through the whistle.
Miami might have numbers top of your screen. Ward up the middle, a strike. Sam Brown into Virginia Tech territory down to the 31, a gain of 24.
And had a laser on it. I mean, he just knifed this through coverage. You know, forget about the next window. I'm going to take the first one, and right behind the linebacker's ear, that ball went buzzing. What a throw.
Martinez pinballs. And then using that physicality, 6 foot 230, gain of 6. Nelson is down for Virginia Tech.
Malinois, the right tackle for Miami, is asking out of the game.
Shockingly, since Miami's been in the ACC, they've only had one quarterback drafted. That was Brad Kaya back in 2017. That's going to change in the spring of 2025.
I got a feeling it's going to change going forward the way Coach Cristobal is recruiting to this program.
Empty set on 2nd and 4.
They better get some safety help at the top.
Blitz off the edge. Ward steps up. Room to run. Inside the 10. And bumped from behind at about the 6-yard line. A gain of 19.
This is a critical time for Virginia Tech's defense. We saw Cole Nelson exit the game with cramps. The humidity right now, 86% up in Blacksburg in the mountains. Brent Pride told me they get the heat in the summer, but not the humidity of South Florida. I see guys with hands on the hips and emptying the tank.
You cannot hydrate enough when you know you're coming into an environment like this.
Ward to the end zone. Incomplete for George. Dorian Strong in coverage. Andre looked like maybe miscommunication there.
Yeah, he was thinking that George was going to present himself a little bit faster and maybe stay inside. That's exactly what he thought. And George put his foot in the ground and went back outside. So just a little miscommunication between quarterback and receiver there.
Martinez, who had 3 touchdowns last week, is the running back. 2nd and goal. Ward back of the end zone. Caught for a touchdown. College football's Methuselah, the 9th-year senior, Cam McCormick.
Mostly known as a run blocker. He gets behind coverage, behind the 2nd level of the defense, and the touch and the timing. There's no time to react if you're Virginia Tech with that pass from Cam Ward.
McCormick, in another age, caught the first pass of his collegiate career while PAT is good by Boria. Cam McCormick, who caught the last touchdown for Miami, began his career at Oregon. He played with Justin Herbert, who's entering his 5th NFL season. Redshirted in 2016. From 2018 to 2021, due to injuries and then the COVID year, only played in 3 games. Transferred to Miami in 2023, and now in his final season of collegiate eligibility. Many medical red shirts plus the COVID year. That's how you get to 9.
Are you sure it's his last one?
For some people, it's the best 4 years of their lives. For Cam, it's the best
9 years. Double up. Double up on it.
Brent Pry will try to change the narrative As head coach at Virginia Tech, 1-9 in one-score games this season, or in his career. 0-2. Both losses this season, I should say, were one-score losses to Rutgers and Vandy. Drones threw it behind Lane. Paul.
Expect a heavy dose of the run game from Virginia Tech. 190 yards on the ground. And Miami is now without two starters on the defensive line, Simeon Barrow Jr. and Elijah Alston. Barrow has not returned since the second quarter. And moments ago, we saw Elijah Alston exit. Manish, if I could go to college for 15 years, I would.
I'd take a redo.
Tootin, a lot of spinning. He gets a couple. It's third down and long. And you got a point on that D-line. Ruben Bain still out since game one.
Yeah. And you kind of knew they were going to run the football on second down because they're off schedule after the incompletion on first down. So I would move Drone. He is better on the move than he is from the pocket. He has been certainly that way tonight.
Here's the blitz. Pass is tipped. Incomplete. And Virginia Tech will punt.
A lot of time on this clock. I'm just surprised. Really surprised, Anish, at that first down call that they didn't go to Tootin in some aspect to just get him the ball quickly, whether it's a run or just a quick flip, shovel pass, whatever. They chose to go essentially drop back with Drones, and that's not his strong suit.
Ray Joseph waits inside his own 30. Comes up to the 35. And down he goes at about the 40. Another Monday night, another doubleheader. 0-3 Tennessee taking on Miami. Tyler Huntley is expected to be the Dolphins starter. Injuries to Tua and Skylar Thompson. And then 3-0 Seattle rolls into 2-1 Detroit. Lions, popular preseason pick to come out of the NFC. Ward steps up and engulfed, sacked back at the 36-yard line. Aeneas Peebles.
He's a big fella inside. You don't really expect to get pass rush like that from the inside from 16, Aeneas Peebles, but he just goes right around the right guard, Inez Cooper. Much fancy there. It's just, hey, I'm going to beat the guy in front of me, and he did it.
Loss of 7. Free play. Ward downfield, and the catch made by Arroyo.
Now, I don't know if it's enough to not take the penalty. I think you take the penalty and save the down if you're Miami. Now, I think it's an offsides penalty against Virginia Tech, and that's what it is.
I think you're looking at 2nd and 12 versus 3rd and maybe 7.
Right.
Offside defense, number 91. 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
And that's faith in Cam Ward.
No doubt about it. You've got the experience of Cam Ward, a senior quarterback, and you get a do-over on second down, but 5 yards, there's no doubt about it. You get it to 3rd and medium, feel pretty good about it, and you dare not play man-to-man because that's where he's torching Virginia Tech's defense. When they go man-to-man and he's able to break through the pass rush, there's nobody there because they're running with receivers.
Ward has been dangerous with his feet as well. 290 through the air, 57 on the ground. He's Miami's leading rusher. Quick throw. Jacoby George, stutter step across midfield, and it's going to set up a 3rd and 1.
He just has the body language of a U receiver, doesn't he? I mean, you just love watching Jacoby George play football. Talented young player. Plantation has that stop and start ability that all the good ones that have played here have had.
Now the center, Zach Carpenter, hobbling a bit after the play. He stays in. A couple of extra tight ends. Horton comes in motion. Martinez, first down. Flag comes in at the tail end of the play.
This is coming back. It's going to be a hole. One of the tight ends, it's either Arroyo or McCormick. We got a handful of the jersey of Delane. And so rather than, but I tell you what.
Holding offense number 2. 10-yard penalty. Replay second down.
They call Isaiah Horton for it on the outside, but had they not called that, Lane just kind of threw his hands up and stopped playing football. So right out on the edges, you get a handful of jersey. That is holding. But you've got to play no matter what. You don't know if a flag's coming.
And it backs Miami up only a couple of yards. Remember, it's 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So it's 3rd down, 3 to go.
Got to believe a run's coming and then maybe going for it on 4th down.
Now this would feel like 4-down territory with the quarterback Ward. Pressure from the middle. Ward throwing downfield into the Virginia Tech sideline. Incomplete. 4th down.
He kind of knew it. Just kind of waved it off and like, hey, turn the page. Let's get to the next one. You won't see him throw many like that. He had a receiver in the flat open and just overshot it. The old elbow dipped, and the ball went high on him.
300 yards passing for Ward. He has now done that in every game this season, and for the 33rd time in his career.
Comes the pressure.
Ward gets rid of it somehow. Restrepo on his backside makes the catch. 1st down.
That's amazing. Amazing catch by Restrepo. And you're talking, here comes the all-out blitz. And Restrepo he's trying to redirect himself. He slips, but just the presence in mind to put his hands up, and the ball finds his hands. Amazing play.
They needed 3. They got 4. 4th down conversion. Low snap. Ward able to give it off to Martinez.
He's still going to pick up yards.
He trucks to the 41-yard line, a gain of 5.
Now, how big was that hold for them to the center to dribble it back to Cam Ward? He's got to now pick it up. The timing's totally off. That's why you just got to play. And Delane is one of the defenders down for Virginia Tech right now in the crowd, kind of giving it to him.
Now, one thing about Cam Ward, he's lost a fumble, he's turned it over twice, yet you never sense an ounce of panic.
None whatsoever. And the good ones, that's how they play the game. It's, hey, let's turn the page, get to the next play, that's over. And that's what he conveys to all the guys that are in the huddle with him, not only them, but the guys on defense. If you watch the defense make a play, the first guy congratulating the defense for that is Cam Ward.
His confidence, his swagger, the coaching staff felt that was a missing element to this Miami program. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, ready for every challenge. The road game may bring Goodyear more driven as Delane gets helped off the field. He and Strong form one of the better cornerback tandems in the ACC.
What a game. What a game. They're going to bring in Dante Lovett, who's played a lot in this game. Giving Delane and Strong a break here and there, playing in the nickel spot, and he used him as a blitzer as well, but now he's primarily on the outside.
And he's matched up with Sam Brown,
who can get deep. Yes, he can get deep, and that's where I'm going if I'm Cam Ward. He just entered the game. That's where I'm going, to that matchup at the bottom. Right here. No safety help in the middle. The safety's over in the middle. You got all the sideline you want.
Martinez gets the call. A couple. It's third down. Paul.
You guys are talking about the calmness of Cam Ward, and Andre, you'll like this. He told me coming from a wing T offense in high school, it made him a student of the game. He was required to know the position inside out, making sure he's ready for anything that's thrown his way. And I know part of your journey too, wing T quarterback.
Yep.
Everyone had their doubts. You buckle down, you learn the position for moments like this.
Directing traffic here, has total control of this offense, Anish.
On the slant, complete. First down, Isaiah Horton. And now with Miami inside the 30. If you're Virginia Tech, when do you start thinking about using your timeouts to make sure there's time for you?
Got to start.
Miami scores.
Start trying to match it up now because you're at 3 minutes. You're going to get a stoppage at the 2-minute timeout. But I don't know if you can really allow a full minute to walk off, to tick off this clock before you start stopping it. You want to give Drones as much time as possible to put a drive together.
A field goal ties it. A touchdown gives Miami its first lead since it was 14-7. Edge pressure. Ward ducks away. Spencer had him. Ward flips it to Williams. How do you like this? Down the sideline. Pushed out inside the 5. The improbability of Cam Ward.
If there is a trip to New York in his future, and I gotta believe it is, a play like this is one that's going to come up over and over when you start talking about the playmaking ability of Cam Ward. Amazing reaction against pressure that's there. Should have been down twice, and he found a way to get it out of his hands and into Riley Williams, who turns it into a big, big play for the Hurricanes.
Andre, there have been 3 plays on this drive. Go back to the 4th down conversion. Restrepo on his backside slips. Ward hits him. Restrepo puts his hands up. It advances the drive. Then you had the bad snap, which Ward picks up, hands to his running back. It turned into positive yards. That looked like a busted play. It looked like Virginia Tech's defense would get Miami behind the chains, and Ward creates something out of nothing as we come to the 2-minute timeout. Peebles a little banged up, walking off the field.
Let's go back and take a look at the magic of Cam Ward. Restrepo slipping, finds a way to reel it in. Then they dribble one back. He's calm, cool, and collected, gets it to his running back for a short gain. And then when everybody thought he was going to be sacked, wrapped up, the calmness to flip it to Riley Williams to get him down inside the 5-yard line. When you have a guy like Cam Ward, you're never out of a game, you're never out of a play. You just keep playing, and the magic finds a way to show up.
All that happened on this drive. A 1st and goal. Ward to a wide open Horton, and Miami takes the lead.
The quickness once the ball comes out of his hand, the delivery. Oh, it's so quick that defenders cannot even react to it. Off play action, and then it's get the ball out as quickly as you can and with accuracy. Horton, the young redshirt sophomore, cleaning up tonight as Cam Ward's thrown now his 4th touchdown pass.
And this field goal is big. It means Virginia Tech, this extra point rather, it's good, which means Virginia Tech needs a touchdown.
Well, wing T quarterbacks aren't that bad
when you let them sling it. Well, the other quarterback from Houston will have the final say. 1:57 to go.
Eternity with 3 timeouts in his back pocket.
Kyron Drones has done it with his legs and his arm.
Yes, he has. Keeping his eyes down the field, finding receivers, making Miami pay early in this game for turning the ball over, but throwing blocks. I mean, you've had just about everything you wanted to see out of this quarterback matchup. It's been spectacular on both sidelines. Drones and Ward, the 2 relatives going at it on a Friday night.
Couple of cousins, both from the Houston area. And Ashraf with Houston area native Andre Ward, former Heisman Trophy winner Andre Ward. Paul Carcaterra down to the sideline.
You mean Ware, right?
Andre Ware. See, Carr called the Andre Ward earlier in the week, and with Cam Ward, the way he's playing was bound to happen once. Just don't hit me like Andre.
Oh, let me tell you something. I'll tell you a quick story. I've gotten calls thinking I was Andre, and they were in the middle of talking contracts. And I'm like, hold up. You mean Andre Ward, the boxer, right? Oh, I'm so sorry. So, trust me, it's happened plenty of times.
Heisman Trophy winner Andre Ware.
You take his money, Dre. Right? You take the boxer's money.
Absolutely, I would.
Deposit right in the bank.
Virginia Tech football. This place is electric.
Gotta find a way to get it to Tootin and let him play.
Lane hangs on, slips a tackle, and pummels forward for a gain of 7.
But he's not very big. At 5'10", about 195 pounds or so. But he breaks tackles, he's reliable, and he's a playmaker.
Clock continues to run. 2 timeouts for Tech. Delayed pressure. Throw to the far side. That is caught. It's Stephen Gosnell. Porter in coverage. A first down that momentarily stops the clock.
Stop it. Get everybody in place, and they will wind this baby as they have.
Four-man twist. Drones fits it in there. Felton spun out of bounds by Kiko Mauinoa.
They want to call a timeout.
He was inbounds. He was down.
I would take one right here. No reason to rush. Take the timeout. Get the proper play call.
Clock continues to run.
You can't tie this up with a field goal. You got to score a touchdown, and you need the time.
50 seconds. Time for Drones. He'll try to run. Pulled down from behind. It's 3rd down. Clock still running. Virginia Tech not taking any of its 2 timeouts.
Should have taken it after after first down.
And now they do. They let about 6 seconds off the clock.
It's more than that, Anish. But between where they should have taken the timeout,
Virginia Tech, their 2nd timeout of the half.
And where they just took the first one. Just call the timeout, settle everybody down, and get the proper play call. There's no reason to go home with a couple of timeouts in your back pocket.
Since taking over as head coach of Virginia Tech, Brent Pry is 1-9 in 1-score games.
That's where you turn the corner as a program. When you start to win those, then you know you're pointed in the right direction. I just can't believe the amount of time. We're well over, probably at a minute or so. After that first down play, a timeout should have been taken. It's not like you're looking to go kick a field goal. You got to get in the end zone. You need as many plays as you possibly can to do it.
Stephen Gosnell with a first down into Miami territory. It momentarily stops the clock. Now the clock starts again.
Ball should be snapped.
Drones dancing around, hit by Bryant, able to get it to Tootin, who spins out of bounds. The clock stops with 18 seconds to go. Virginia Tech needs a touchdown.
So if you take all those seconds that were wasted by not taking a timeout or allowing the ball to be snapped 2 and 3 seconds late, those are plays that should be run by saving what's on the clock.
And Virginia Tech, oh, it's Miami. Initially, the officials signaled that Virginia Tech had called a timeout. It's Miami who calls a timeout. Earlier in this game, Virginia Tech lined up for a field goal. It would have made it a 30-17 game. Instead, they went for a fake, were stopped. Miami got the ball, went down and scored. Had Virginia Tech kicked that field goal, you're in a situation right now.
Totally different situation where you want the clock running. You're just trying to get to field goal range. And then you have that happen and put all the pressure on Miami to have to stop you. But when you went for that fake, it didn't work out. You find yourself in this situation, things totally have to speed up.
And it wasn't just that the play was stuffed. There was a very real momentum swing.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And they went, the Hurricanes went right down the field.
Drones steps up. Deep downfield. Green was out of bounds. 8 seconds remain. Deani Hill in coverage.
It's a lot of time to run one play. It's clearly out of bounds. He had someone open on the right flats to his right. That's where you go with the football, allow him to get out of bounds and pick up the first down. But when you spend that much time, you are limiting yourself to basically a Hail Mary.
Miami calls a timeout. All right, Andre, Virginia Tech still has the one timeout. You've got 8 seconds. Do you think about something that gets you a little closer? Are you thinking 2 plays here?
You can, because you can hit something to pick up the first down and then get yourself down. That's going to stop it temporarily, or you can go ahead and elect to call the timeout as well. I just think back to all the time that's been wasted when you didn't call the timeout, which is why you have one still in your back pocket right now. A lot of time rolled off that clock between first and third down.
Miami playing 3 defensive backs inside the 10-yard line. They're backing off.
The message should have been, catch it quick and get down.
A lot of time going off. Drones is going to run, and he's able to get out of bounds with 3 seconds to go. Everybody dropped. Drones took off. 5 seconds elapsed. And now Virginia Tech.
Got to throw to the end zone here. Yeah. You're hoping they're going to take their final timeout to get things lined up. What a game. What a ball game.
31 yards to go for Virginia Tech. Looking for a top 10 road win. Top Rank Boxing follows us. The last time the Hokies had a top 10 road win at Ohio State, and remember, that Ohio State team came all the way back to win a national championship.
Make sure you have the proper amount of guys on the field. If you're Miami, you don't want a penalty that's going to give Virginia Tech an extra down to play. Counting 11. See what we have here.
There's no foul in the play. Timeout was called by Miami.
Miami uses its final timeout.
You want to talk about playing big when the game is on the line? Cam Ward in the fourth quarter alone, 8 of 11 for 88 yards and 2 touchdown passes. Brought his team all the way back.
He put a few plays on the Heisman reel tonight. For more post-game coverage of this game, ACC Network has you at the conclusion of Miami, Virginia Tech. Reaction. We'll hear from the coaches, players.
Once again, you go through that count. How many do we have on the field? Counting 11 for Miami.
Comes down to this. Drones lets it fly. They're sorting through the carnage. Miami has it.
Well,
Virginia Tech has it. How do you like that? Virginia Tech. They roll it a touchdown on the game's final play.
On the field, both teams back to the bench. The game is not over. Both teams back to the bench, please. The game is not over. The previous play is on the further review.
I think they're rolling it.
Fans know it.
I think they're rolling that Jalen Lane came down with this. And remember, the ruling on the field is a touchdown catch.
Boy, it is hard to see who's got the ball in that mass of humanity. The crowd erupted. It looked like Miami had it. This might be the look.
The game is not over. Teams back to the benches. Coaches, please back to the benches.
A fitting ending, a chaotic ending.
Remember,
this football game.
The ruling on the field was a touchdown.
It was a touchdown.
I'm not seeing the ball. And it looked as though...
So that means there is nothing to overturn the call. Let's bring in Matt Austin, our rules expert. Matt, we didn't expect to have the final play in question. Touchdown, not a touchdown. It matters.
They're saying Felton came up with this.
Well,
and he's in bounds, Matt.
Now, did he survive? Did he survive the ground there? The ball pops out at the very end.
Yeah, what they've got to determine is, was there ever full control of
the receiver?
And then as the ball was bouncing around,
came down, inbounds in the end zone. The result of the play is a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
Virginia Tech erupts. They're going to look at this, and let's get the clarification here from Matt Austin.
Yeah, they've been looking at it already. There has to be firm control by the receiver all the way to the ground. Once they're on the ground, the ball was bouncing around a little bit, and it was touched by several different players. There was at least one Miami player who was out of bounds, who I think touched the ball, which, if they don't have firm control, that would make it an incomplete pass. So this is going to be an interesting call by the replay officials. Does anybody ever have firm control?
Does that justify firm control? Matt, do you see firm control?
Not in my opinion, because as he hits the ground, the ball is still moving around. But again, is it clear and obvious to overturn?
The whole game and the outcome comes down to a replay review.
Wow.
6'5", Daquan Felton went up. That's the guy you want to throw it to. Indisputable video evidence to overturn the call. And
now, Matt, question. Can a guy laying out of bounds in this situation, punch the ball out where it starts the movement? And he's already out of bounds making a play on.
Well, no. If he has firm control of the ball and he's got a body part down on the ground, then really the play's over at that point. Anybody that rips it out, that'd be a second act. It would still be a completed pass. But with this many hands on the ball above their heads, did anyone have firm control of the ball? That's the question.
Wow, Felton. I thought it was Lane. It was Felton.
You saw Miami rip the ball out at the end. The crowd roared. It appeared the game was over. Miami won. And then, after what felt like an eternity, the official signaled touchdown. Virginia Tech's bench erupted. And now the question is, do you have enough evidence to overturn the call? We're back to where I feel we always are. What is a catch?
Just don't see enough to overturn it. And the call, remember, the call on the field was a touchdown.
Now the command center in Charlotte, North Carolina for ACC replay is poring over every last frame. Everyone at Hard Rock Stadium holding their breath. This is what the officials are looking at.
I just don't see enough to overturn it.
And Matt, I want to come back to you because you said, hey, I don't think this is firm control. But is it enough of a conviction in that to overturn the call?
That's exactly it. Thinking doesn't matter. It's what you have video evidence with. And as you said before, the ruling on the field is paramount. They ruled a touchdown. I don't see anything clear and obvious to overturn.
And if that's how the replay booth sees it, if there's nothing clear and obvious, Virginia Tech is leaving South Florida with a top 10 win. What an incredible finish. It looks like we're going to get the verdict.
After further review, the ruling on the field is reversed. It's an incomplete pass.